Let's talk about villains. You know, the really memorable ones. They aren't just strong, are they? They're purposeful. They feel less like a random roadblock and more like an inevitable shadow, one cast by the hero themselves. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most perfectly engineered antagonists in modern storytelling.
And that's really the core idea for this whole explainer. The dual-core cyborg isn't just some monster of the week. It is a consequence, built from the ground up to be the ultimate opponent. So let's deconstruct this thing and see exactly how a perfect nemesis is forged.
So what makes this cyborg the ideal enemy for our hero, Vathcon? Well, it's because it was specifically designed to hit him where it hurts on three critical, deeply personal fronts. This is a villain that was forged from the hero's own story, not just found along the way.
And here's our roadmap for today. We're going to see how the cyborg is a direct reflection of Vathcon's past, a technological rival to his power, and ultimately, the biggest test of his purpose. So let's start at the very beginning, with something our hero did.
Okay, first up, this thing is literally born from the lore. Its very existence is a direct result of Vathcon's past choices. A single moment of what he thought was heroism became the seed for this inescapable nightmare.
So how did this happen? It was a perfect storm, really. First, you have the location, an old nuclear facility just humming with a unique energy signature. Then, you get the heroic blunder. Vathcon tries to stop a meltdown by unleashing this massive, purifying energy blast. But this creates a totally paradoxical feedback loop, a huge, uncontrolled collision of opposing energies. And who's there to see it all? The architect, Dr. Thorne, who survives and has the nihilistic genius to harvest what's left behind.
And here's the real kicker. Vathcon's attempt to save the day, his big act of salvation, is the exact thing that created his greatest enemy. His past isn't just haunting him. It's walking, talking, and trying to tear him apart.
Okay, so the cyborg is a ghost from his past, but it's also a rival in the present. This brings us to its second function, being a direct rival. The cyborg isn't just thematically linked to Vathcon, it's technologically built to be his physical equal, a perfect mirror to his power. And you can see it right in its anatomy. I mean, look at this thing. It's running on two warring power sources. That isn't just a weird engineering choice, it's the physical proof of the conflict at its very heart. It's basically a technological civil war in one body.
The writers even have this incredible name for them, philosophical engines. How cool is that? Because each core isn't just a battery, it's the living embodiment of an entire ideology. The cyborg is literally powered by the philosophical war between its two creators, Vathcon and Dr. Thorne.
Let's break those down. On one side, you've got the Kryptonian heart, a twisted version of Vathcon's own life-giving energy. And on the other, you have the nihilist's mind, which is a repurposed doomsday weapon designed by Thorne. You've got life versus apocalypse, sitting side by side, powering the same machine.
And the thematic irony here is just... chef's kiss. It's perfect. The core, born from Vathcon's heroic essence, provides stable, self-sustaining power for a monster. And meanwhile, the core that was Thorne's weapon of mass destruction is paradoxically giving the monster life. The hero's legacy powers a monster, and the nihilist's apocalypse machine gives it a heartbeat. It's brilliant.
Which brings us to the third and, honestly, the most important function. The cyborg is more than a monster, it is ideology made flesh. It forces Vathcon to physically fight the very philosophy of nihilism he spent his life rejecting.
You see, that whole philosophical debate between Vathcon and Thorne, it's not just talk anymore. It's now a recurring physical threat. This image of the two snakes eating each other is the perfect symbol for it. It's a conflict that Vathcon can never ever escape, because now it has a body.
So, what does this actually mean for Vathcon? Well, for one, it's a full-blown arms race now. To fight is physical and technological. Two, it's a perpetual challenge. As long as the cyborg exists, the core themes of the story are a constant living threat. And finally, it's incredibly personal. This isn't just another bad guy, this is the story's central conflict, standing right in front of him. So, when you put all three of these functions together, the past, the power, and the purpose, you start to see what the dual-core cyborg really is. It's the inevitable, terrifying conclusion to the whole story.
So let's recap real quick. The cyborg is a consequence of Vathcon's past actions. It's a direct technological rival to his present power, and most importantly, it's the physical manifestation of the story's central ideological war. Each piece builds on the last to create the perfect enemy.
And this quote right here just says it all, doesn't it? Think about it. Dr. Thorne's nihilistic, nothing matters worldview gets to live forever, but only because it's being powered by the life force of the very hero who rejected it. The connection is just so personal, so ironic, and there's no way out of it.
Which really leaves us with this final, chilling question to think about. What happens when a philosophical debate can't be won with words anymore? When it actually becomes a living, breathing thing that you have to fight physically forever?
The ideological war didn't just find a new champion. The war became a person. The cyborg's unending existence is the war itself. It's not just an obstacle for the hero to overcome. It is the conflict made real.